Right, that's recording. Everybody can see that. We're going to share our screens. We're doing managing client expectations and the inevitable trouble that we get into as agents. So, so you seem to have heard this introduction before. Okay, so what I was saying is that we are going to get into trouble with our clients. It seems to be inevitable. And if you speak to any agent who's been around the block, they will tell you that angry clients are a reality. So it doesn't matter how nice you are, you're going to have an angry client, and it doesn't matter how good you are, you can have an angry client, and it doesn't matter how fair or how honest or how anything. It actually doesn't matter about you. Okay, and this is like the most important thing. It does not matter about you. It matters only about the person and the day they're having. So you can get into trouble with me on a bad day. It doesn't matter if you're bringing me a case of beer and with a smile. If I'm just stubbed my toe or I've just got into trouble with something else, I'm going to lash out at you. It's just the way humans work, and you have to be aware of that. Okay, so let's have a look at these rules. 5 golden rules plus 1 spare, 1 extra one. So the first rule is you need to manage yourself. Okay, this is fundamental to managing anger. You cannot, Ban Ki-moon, you might have heard of him. He was the United Nations chief, whatever. And Ban Ki used to look after the whole world. And in his tenure, I think it was a 7-year reign, Ban Ki-moon did not successfully stop one war or one altercation or do anything. And why? Not that Ban Ki-moon was a bad guy. Ban Ki was actually quite a peaceful guy. I think he was a Buddhist. He was the most peaceful man in the room. But he was inserting himself into a really hot situation. So he couldn't manage the situation because he wasn't managing himself. He wasn't part of it. So when I say managing yourself, you have to come into every situation with the right mindset. If you walk into a world war, you're not going to stop it with your smile or a promise or anything like that. So what do I mean by managing yourself? Okay, so yeah, this is a fundamental too. When people say to you, what do you do for a living? Rahul, what do you do for a living? Tell me. You got to turn your mic on.
I talk shit for a living.
Yeah, what is it that you do? What do you do? Come on, if somebody asks you seriously, what do you do for a living? What do you say?
I'm a real estate agent.
You're a real estate agent.
I work for myself. Yeah.
You work for yourself, yeah. Wade, what do you do for a living?
Plays video games.
Wade, tell me what you do for a living.
Wait.
I make the money.
Make the money. What do you do though?
I place buyers with the correct tenants. I place sellers with the right buyers and landlords with the right tenants.
Okay, so what you're saying is not wrong. Okay, I would just like you to consider the possibility that there's another way of talking. When a person asks you what you do for a living, if you say you're an estate agent or an agent or a broker or a rental agent or a property guy or anything like that, you're going to run into a negative reaction, because used car salesmen, lawyers, estate agents have all got a bad rap. They don't have a good. There is a negative connotation to it. Not with everybody, but it is true that there is a negative feeling about the job that you do. So what I would prefer to do, sorry, I'm just letting somebody in. What I would prefer you to say to people is, if they say, what do you do for your living? I would prefer you to say, I run my own business. I'm a businessman. Okay. And then if they say, what do you do? What do you mean? What do you do though? Well, I'm in property. So I own my own business and I'm in property. That's a much, much stronger and stable and worthy way, rather than saying I'm a rookie agent. I work for somebody else. Do you understand? Saying that you're a rookie, saying that you're an intern, saying that you're an agent up front, sometimes puts you on the back foot, and people don't react well to it. But if you say to somebody, if they say to you, hi, I'm Anton, what do you do? I run my own business. Oh, really? What do you do? I'm in property. Oh, serious? And what do you do in property? Oh, well, because there's not only me in my business, it's me and you, and your partner is me and Linda and the 80 other agents. So now I've got partners, obviously, and we run a property business. I do selling, buying, rentals. And then you can tell them the part that you guys told me first. I make the money, I place the tenants, I do that. It's a better way of talking in my estimation than just saying I'm a rookie agent. Because as soon as you say I'm an agent or something, all the preconceived ideas and all the sort of the stuff in people's heads kicks into place, and they know how to treat you. Oh, you're an estate agent. That means you're a shark. That means you're going to lie to me. How do you know when an estate agent's lying? His lips are moving. Well, no, I'm sorry. I don't lie to you. I'm a business owner. Why would I lie to you? I don't think that's funny. I'm not a bad agent. I'm a good business broker. So think about that. I run my own business is better. So that's the first thing of managing client expectations. If you go into your client relationship if you go into your client relationship with your buyer, with your seller, with your tenant, with anything, and you introduce yourself as, hi, I'm the agent, you're on the back foot. Hi, I'm a business, I run my own business. This is my livelihood. I take this very seriously. It's a different way of talking. It's a better way of talking. And Linda uses this quite a lot. When people start giving her trouble, she says, just understand one thing. This is my business. This is how I make a living. This is not a game for me. I don't do this for fun. I'm here seriously trying to run a good business, and I'm here to help you. It's a complete mindset change, rather than being the guy who's begging for the listing, begging for the sale. Okay. That's the first thing that occurred to me. The second thing that occurred to me was you need to be honest from the get-go. And that actually didn't occur to me, that it came off Google, because get-go is an American expression, so you caught me out. But being honest, in South Africa, you cannot begin any transaction if you haven't been honest with the guy. Please don't go down the road saying, you think it'll work. You won't tell him that the house isn't on plan just yet. You'll just let it run. You'll let it run until you get the deal signed, and then you'll break it to him at the right time. It's not a good strategy, and it sometimes does work. But the problem is that when you get down the line, everybody's done a lot of effort and done a lot of work to get to that place. And then when the guy finds out that the garage isn't on plan, he's going to take a look at you and say, this guy has lied to me. He might not even say it out loud, but in his head, he's going to say, I've been lied to. I've been scammed. I'm now trapped in a transaction. My wife is now engaged with this house and she's committed to it and she loves it. I actually can't get out of it. And now this thing's not on plan. It's a major problem for him. And he's going to scream at you about that, because the perception is, and it's not even a perception, the reality is you have lied to him. So you need to be honest. Tell people the truth up front, and rather miss the client then. Rather be honest. I have much more respect for people who say to me, Anton, I run my own business. What do you want? No, I want 45 liters of green paint, and I want you to come and do it for free as a test. Sure, I'm sorry, Anton, I really can't afford to do that in my business. I think you need to go to one of the bigger guys who can help me. Much more respect for them than saying, yeah, okay, I'll see if I've got an overrun. And then if I get an overrun, I'll get one of my guys that's got nothing to do. And then 6 months later, I'm saying, hey, Cully, where's my paint, bro? You promised. And he did promise. But what Cully should have said was, Anton, I don't do that. I'm not that kind of, this is not my business to do that. So be honest from the get-go. It's going to save you a lot of agony. The third thing that for managing client expectations, remember, you've managed your expectations. You're a business owner. I run my own business. I'm in property, and I do this as a living. And your expectations are that I'm going to give you good service and provide you with a house, a rental, a sale, or whatever. And you need to tell them, and you need to tell them what is going to happen. Okay, you don't assume it's going to happen, but you're not an idiot. You know what is going to happen. We've done this enough times. And even if you're a rookie on day one, there's enough experience around you. You only have to pick up the phone and phone Linda, and I'll tell you what the next step's going to be in a typical sale, in a typical rental. Why? Because it's not hard, man. There's only like 10 things that can happen. Either the guy's going to get a bond or he's not going to get a bond. So if he gets his bond, then it'll go to documents to be signed and we'll start the actual transfer. If he doesn't get a bond, we'll try and get another bond, or it'll collapse and we'll get another sale. Those things are obvious. So you can anticipate those, and you can't promise them. You can't say to the guy, no, you'll definitely get a bond. I've looked at your numbers, they look fine. Or don't worry about the plans, they'll definitely get passed. Definitely get passed, really. Have you guys met the COJ? Go down to the city of Johannesburg and spend an afternoon there. You'll come back a different person. Why? Because you cannot assume anything in South Africa. You really, 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 really can't. And it's not only South Africa, in the whole world. So when you talk to people, you can anticipate things that will happen, and you need to tell them, we're going to sign the document. I'm going to take your offer. Now, remember, this offer isn't written in cast in stone. I'm going to present it to the owner. The owner's got 3 options. He can accept your offer, he can reject your offer, or he can counter your offer. I'm going to come back to you with the answer. So I am going to broker this deal. But the answer that I come back with might not be to your satisfaction. So you haven't got the house yet. It's not yours. So just let's be calm about it. Let's wait for the 3 options. And remember, when I come back with a counter, you have the opportunity then to accept it, reject it, or counter it. And when you do that, I'll take it back to the owner, and he can accept, reject, counter. And that's, you tell the guy that very clearly. Because why? We've had many instances this last year, especially, I don't know why, where the guy phoned me and said, oh, this agent of yours, I put in an offer, now he sold it to somebody else behind my back. What's going on? Well, that's actually an expectation management issue. It's not about we sold it behind your back. And my answer to him is, I'm sorry, we don't sell houses. The owner sells the house. We offer him the document that you offered him, and he accepts it, rejects it, or counters it. What did he do? No, he did nothing. Well, then he rejected it. And our mistake was not telling you that up front. Sorry about the delay in that, but it's not our call. Okay. So don't guarantee things though. Don't say, oh, the guy will definitely accept this offer. Yeah, bro. As soon as you say that, you shot your own deal in the foot. I don't know why, but people hear you and they don't accept it suddenly. There's suddenly a big problem. Okay. Number 4, communicate constantly and openly. Tell everybody everything every time. Now, this comes as a caveat. Okay, but tell everybody everything every time. So if the deal's running into trouble, you speak to the buyer and you say, listen, we've got 4 banks. 3 of them have come back with a problem. We've got 1 left. Is there anything you can do? Can you find more money? Can you cancel your car? Can you sell your car? Can you get more deposit in anticipation for a 4th failure? Okay, you're telling him everything that's happening. You tell the owner, I know we've waited 6 weeks now. The bond looks like it's running into trouble. We've got 4 banks involved. 3 of them have come back negative. I'm just telling you, we've got 1 left, and this is what we're doing about it. Don't wait until it's terminal. Don't wait until it's over. And then when it's over, and it's Friday afternoon, you don't want to phone that on a Friday afternoon because he's going to scream at you. Anton, I turned away 3 deals. You promised me that this deal would work. I didn't promise you. I just told you the guy looked good on paper, and I thought it would go through, and it hasn't. Okay, and again, your expectations are you haven't managed your client's expectations. Okay, and you can tell people, and people do understand. If you go to the bank, if you own property, you've been to a bank. So you can tell the seller, listen, I'm going to present this offer to the bank, and the bank is going to assess the buyer, and the bank will make a decision. If you've worked with the bank, and I know you have because you've got a bond, you understand what the bank can do. The bank can say yes, no, or nothing. So please, this is not about your client, who's the buyer, who in good faith is trying to buy it. I am in good faith trying to broker it. The bank is going to decide. If the bank says no, it's not a slight on your client. It doesn't mean your client's a shark. It doesn't mean I'm a bad broker. All it means is that the bank has decided no. And remember, why do banks say no to deal? If I go to the bank now and say, I want to buy this house. Okay, I'm going to buy the house. Why would the bank say no to me? They look at my credit record. Oh, Anton's a good citizen. He's got no debt. Well done, Anton. Has he got any judgments? No, no judgments. Anton, you're looking good on paper. Okay, can you afford it? They do a property assessment. Yes, he can afford it. He earns 20,000 Rand a month. The bond's only 5. It's less than a third of his income. You are hundreds. Boom, rejected. Why? Everything's good. Because why? Are we overexposed in the area? Have you ever heard that one? No, we've got, because a bank will have, especially in complexes. Oh no, we've got more than 30% of the bonds in that complex are with us. We're not extending ourselves anymore. And that happens quite a lot. Now you go back to the seller. Oh, you lied to me. You said you'd get the bond. Well, he actually did get the bond. But you know what? The bank said, no, they're overexposed in the area. Or they come and they do a valuation and say, yeah, we will give you the bond. And this is all fine, except this place isn't worth R1 million. It's worth 300. Okay. So the caveat is tell everybody everything every time is that you never tell people stuff that will get you locked up in jail. Okay, so if you've made a mistake and you forgot to tell the guy that the pool's not included or that the house isn't on plan and you were told and the seller made you sign a document saying you're told, you don't go and tell everybody. You come and tell Linda or Kerry and say, Kerry, I've made a mistake. And this is the other half of telling everybody everything. You tell your partners up front. To me, your attorney, your doctor, and your partner, Anton, in this business, you do not lie. You tell me the truth so I can help you. I'm not here to penalize you. We're not here to make your life hard. What we're trying to do is protect you from legal action, to make your deals work, to protect the business's name, to protect your name. Okay. If you've come to me with a problem in the past, you'll know that's how I'll react. It is the way I react. I'm not going to scream at you for doing something stupid. What we've got to do is do damage control, remedy it, and try and save the deal, or at least mitigate against legal action. Because remember, we are exposed to legal action. It's a real thing. Okay. And that's why I spend some afternoons in the tribunal, because of the stupid shit that goes on with you guys. It's not your problem. It's my problem. It's not your fault. it's an accident or mistake or something silly. We can fix it though, but I have to know about it. It's no use landing up in court and then you find out about it. That's not like that. Okay, so you tell everybody everything, unless it's a major problem, then you tell your partners first. You go to your attorneys first. And you find a way to tell the guy properly. Okay, and most of the time these things aren't catastrophic, to be honest. They actually aren't, because we've got our offers to purchase, we've got our leases, everything's quite standard, and the system has been designed by property codes to be almost, it's automatic. So it's very difficult. You have to try quite hard to break the law. So unless you are breaking the law, in which case you're on your own, because I mean, I can't help you if you're stupid. Okay. Set goals, limits, and expectations. This is quite easy. You need to tell your clients what you do and you can't do. Listen, I'm going to market your house. I'm going to take photographs. I'm going to put it on the interwebs. Once a week, I'm going to give you a report of the traffic on the internet. That's all. And if we get a buyer, I'll present it to you. Oh, I've given you this house 3 months ago and you haven't even brought me one offer. When did I ever say I'm going to bring you one offer in 3 months? I would never have said that. All I said was I'm going to take photographs, I'm going to market it at the price that you've given me or the price you've agreed. That's all I said I'd do. I don't control the market. It's a good thing to say. I don't control the market. I don't control the buyouts. Okay. So you set the goals, you set the limits, you set the expectations, and make sure. And if your client's going to be, if you suspect your client's a bit rough, you actually need to sit with them or phone them and say, listen, Kali, do you understand what's going to happen now? I've sold houses for my whole life. I've got 30 houses. I don't need to hear a lecture from you about how it works, my boy. So, Kali, I'm not trying to lecture you. I'm trying to tell you how I work, just so that you don't get cross with me, because you're already getting cross with me and I haven't even started yet. Firstly, is I can't bring you an offer unless I get one. Do you understand that? Yes. Secondly, I'm going to bring you a bad offer. Kali, I'm going to bring you one for $1 million. And I told you don't bring me an offer less than $1 million. Kali, I'm obliged to bring you all offers that are in writing. It's in our code of conduct, and I am going to bring it to you, and you can reject it, accept it, or counter it. You manage the expectation. Then when it happens, Kali says, yeah, it's a cock offer this. I wish you wouldn't have brought it to me. Rather than, I told you not to bring it to me. Because you tell him up front, I am going to bring it to you. It's my duty to bring it to you. If you don't want me to bring, if you're forbidding me to bring you a written offer, then don't work with me, Kali. And that's the last one. Don't be afraid to walk away. If Kali is so demanding, I'll give it to you on a mandate for a week. You bring me an offer. Kali, please, I'm not a magician. I'm a business owner. I'm running my own business. I'm trying my best to make a living. And I don't promise people I can get an offer in a week. Why? I'm not buying your house. Your price is wrong, whatever the problem is. Okay. Does it make sense? Easy, eh? Okay, so now you've set the platform. And guess what? Boom. It goes wrong anyway. Why does it go wrong? Because everything goes wrong every time it can. It's Murphy's Law or something. Okay, so now it goes wrong. So now you've got some choices. Now you can involve Linda or I. I like involving other people, and that's why it's good to work in a team, because when the clients get frustrated with me, I say, Linda, please phone this oak, he hates me. And then Linda phones him and they laugh and they sort it out and it's all good. And I go, okay, how come you can get it right and I'm not bad at it? All I did was bring the oak an offer. I'm actually the good oak here. But it doesn't work like that. So there are personality issues, there are race issues, there are female, male issues, there are cultural issues that some people won't deal with men, some people won't deal with women. There are issues like that that you need to pay attention to. So anyway, it's going to go bad. And when it goes bad, you have a meeting. I like to have if it's really gone bad, you must have a face-to-face meeting. Speaking on the phone is not lacquer. And speaking on Zoom is also not so good. Because half of you, I can't see your faces. So you could be there pulling zap sounds at me and laughing and your head's off, and I won't be able to engage with that. So the phone is second prize, face-to-face is the best. So you sit the guy down in the boardroom and you come in and you say, hello, Mr. Smith, and you sit down and you don't say another word. Okay. That's it. And you just listen to him. And at some point, he's going to say, let's just go back a step. So, hello, Mr. Smith. Thank you for coming in. How can I help you? Okay. Then you don't talk. Then he starts talking. Well, I gave my house to Anton, and he said he'd get me a client in 1 day. Did he bring me a client? No. He brought me an offer that was half the price. And I told him he should not let her bring me an offer half price, but he did it anyway. He's so disrespectful and rude. And you know what? He doesn't even phone me. He didn't even tell me he was coming the 1 day. It's so unprofessional. I'm reporting to everybody. I'm putting in a hello, Peter. And like 20 minutes later, you just sit and listen, and the guy will run out of words. I've watched it with my own eyes. The people actually run out of words. And you sit. Oh, and another thing, you know what he said to my wife? She said she was lazy because she didn't open the gate. I mean, can you believe it? 27 minutes later, you haven't said a word. Eventually, the guy's going to go, he'll either say, what are you going to do? Or he'll give a cue that it's your turn. And then you can do the next step. And I'll show you what the next steps are. But this is critical. If you interject there, and they're going to say terrible things. And the agents often sit next to me. And I've kicked one agent on his ankle because she started answering. I told the agent not to bring the person after 8 o'clock. And they came at 20 past 8. It's so disrespectful. She goes, oh, but I asked your wife. Don't. Let the man finish because you're interfering with him and you're going to start a fight. You cannot have an argument when you're trying to listen. So, what is this thing about listening? Well, the definition of listening is giving attention with the ear, attend closely for the purpose of hearing. So it is an active thing. This is what listening is. It's focused, it's voluntary, it's intentional. Listening is not hearing. You can hear a lot of stuff going on and you can sit there making notes. And that's the worst thing to do in a meeting like that, making notes. Oh, point one, he said I was late. I wasn't late. I spoke to his wife and she did say that. Also, he said I could bring an offer, but, and you, in your head, you were countering all his arguments. Then you look up and he's finished talking and you go, right, your first point, yeah, it's wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And also, how have you listened to the man? Okay, you have not listened. So please, hearing is something that you do, it's effortless and you can do other things. Listening is focused, attentive, and it's voluntary. You have to decide to listen to somebody. Let this be a lesson for your lives, in your relationships. The most important thing is do not interrupt, do not talk, do not offer solutions, don't move, listen until it becomes patently obvious that the man has exhausted or the woman has exhausted themselves and they are absolutely finished with it and they got it off their chests and the frustration's gone. Why? Because at last somebody has just heard my pain. Okay. Does it make sense? Okay. So now, what do we do next? So now this guy's ranted for 40 minutes now, and now he stops. Now, the first thing is, if you're getting upset, you need to say, excuse me for a minute and walk outside and scream at somebody else. Because you cannot engage with an angry person. Because an angry person and an angry person will escalate each other. Okay, this is a fact. If you want to calm somebody down, you don't raise your voice, you lower your voice. I'm sorry that you're angry, and I apologize for your anger. I don't want you to be angry. I'm here to help you. Okay, and the way to do that, to remain calm, is not to take it personally. You need to actually think quite carefully who they're shouting at and why they're shouting. Now, if a guy's putting an offer for a house that his wife likes, and that offer hasn't been accepted, and he's screaming at you because you promised me the house and it hasn't been accepted, and now what I'm going to do? What he's actually saying is, my wife is going to kill me because I've gone home and promised her that the house is ours, and I'm such a big shot. I bought you the place, Master Key. Awesome, I've done it. That's how cool I am. Okay, now he's got to go home and say, sorry, I'm a bit of a poople because I didn't even read the fine print, and that's not our house. So that's his frustration. It's not actually about you. So don't think you're special. And anger and getting cross in a client meeting is a very sort of narcissistic response, because you are looking at yourself as the main person. It's got nothing to do with you, bro. Nothing. It's him, his frustrations, and a misunderstanding. Your name doesn't feature. You just the oak who happened to be there. Okay, so get that out of your head. Empathy is a good one. You need to apologize and have empathy for the person. And what you apologize, and people have a big problem with apologizing. I'm not apologizing to that man. Well, why not? Because remember what we're apologizing for. We're apologizing for his pain, his frustration, his suffering, the loss of his house, the loss of money, the loss of income, the burnt down garage, whatever it is. We're apologizing for the thing that's hurting him and the pain he's feeling. I'm not apologizing for what I did. I'm not apologizing for giving you a written offer. No, I apologize for you feeling terrible about or getting cross, or I apologize that you're angry. I apologize that you feel frustrated. I apologize that you don't, and I am sorry, and I understand what you feel like. I know how disappointed you are. Those are the things that are going to help you. You don't apologize for giving the guy an offer, for doing your job. That's not the apology. So get that out of your mind, and it makes it easier to apologize. I'm so sorry you're angry. I really, I understand how frustrated you must be. Okay. So once you've apologized, he's had his rent, you've apologized. Now you don't go to your list of answers to his questions. You say to him simply, what do you want? How can I help you? And you stop talking. You say, Mr. Smith, I really apologize for this. I hate it that you're frustrated. This is, I mean, it's my business. I'm trying my very best here to make a living out of it. And I really, really want to help you. I consider myself a good agent, and I think I've let you down. How can I help you fix this? What do you want? And he'll tell you, I want that house. I don't want the garage. I want this. I want that, whatever he wants. And if you can do it, you say, fine. I don't want to pay you that commission because you didn't do the job. How about I give you a nice discount? And you do it. Why? Because now you're doing future work. Now you're doing business. You are marketing yourself. Okay. Now, this is where people freak out. But what happens if you ask for something that's impossible? Well, if you ask for something that's impossible, you can't give it to him. So it's not a problem. Now, I used to work in the optometry business, and a woman came in. She bought a 7,000 Rand pair of frames. This is 15 years ago, titanium frames. And the frame broke. It's impossible to break, but it broke. So the guy soldered it, okay, and it fixed it. So she came in to fetch it, and she put it on. She said, thank you. Then she looked, and she said, gee, I paid 7,000 Rand for this. Look at it. It's got a big orange burn mark where the solder worked on it. Are you guys off your heads? I can't believe the service I get from you. I came into this flippant place, and now I have my glasses, and I look like a clown with a thing. And we just sat there. Not me, my boss sat and listened and listened and listened. And he said, I'm so sorry for your frustration. It must be hugely frustrating to pay that kind of money and not get the product you wanted. How can we help you? And I went cold because I thought, she's going to ask for another 7,000 Rand frame, plus the lenses. This is a 15,000 Rand problem. This is a major, major problem. You know what she said? I'll just burn it on the other side. So the guy burnt it on the other side. Okay, lekker, thanks so much. You look so awesome. And she walked out. I said, that's amazing. And it's a lesson of life that people don't actually want to take they don't want to rip the ring out of it. All they want to do is get what they believe is a fair shake. And most of the time, you can actually accommodate that. So bear that in mind. Then you're going to walk out and take a few minutes by yourself, because you'll be freaking out and you will be angry and you're going to want to punch the man, and all of those things will be going through your head, and you can have your drama meltdown, and you can have a glass of wine, have a smoke, phone your friend, and do all the things that are going to calm you down. And that's the way life is. Okay. Right. Okay. This is now the last thing. You need to act as if you own the company. Why? Duh, because you do own it. Remember, you're a businessman. It's your business. You're an entrepreneur. This is what I do for a living. I run a property business. I have a partner with Property Koza. Okay. And what do successful business owners do? They don't look at the money. They actually don't look at what they can take out. And if you look at the South African model of tenderpreneurs, now what happens in a tender is that people get 100 million Rand tender and they all buy Ferraris. Okay. And then the business goes bust. Why? Because they're looking at it the wrong way around. They're not building a legacy project. They're just trying to take the money out. It's not the right way of going. So good businessmen, successful business people get paid last. And if you speak to a business owner, they'll tell you, like, I don't get a salary. They'll tell you, I don't get paid. Everybody else gets the money. Why? Because they're building a long-term business. So they're hoping that the business will grow and they'll be able to sell it, or they'll be able to make money in the long term. And you need to take that view. There is no percentage in you winning an argument against the client, trying to prove a point against a tenant who's been unreasonable, proving a point against a seller who's been stupid. You can win your point in law. I can tell you something now. The Act says, Section 42(1)(a) says that you are not allowed to take occupation before you've paid your deposit. So I win, you're wrong. Like, okay, what is that going to do for your business? Because the person's not going to say, oh my God, Anton, I'm so sorry. You're so right. Thank you for teaching me. I really respect that. What, can I have a hug? I'm going to tell everybody what a wonderful teacher and you are. They're going to freaking punch you in the head. The much better thing, see, I feel your frustration. I'm so sorry we couldn't help you. Let me try and find you another place. I want to help you. What is it that you want? I want a roof over my head. Well, let's get you a roof over your head. Let's put this nastiness behind us. I want to help you. I'm on your team. We are working for you. Okay. So you look to invest in your business for the future, and looking to invest in your business for the future is not looking at the commission that's on the table right now. Because now when the person says, listen, you promised me the thing at a garage, it's a shit garage, the door doesn't open, I want to get out of the deal. All we see is the commission going away. And it's very, very difficult. But it's not the right thing to do, to say, oh, okay, no, and fight for that. The right thing to do is, if you're not comfortable with this deal, let me find you something that you are comfortable with. Your esteem in this person's eyes will go up exponentially. You will then be performing the role of a business owner who genuinely cares about their business and really understands their business, and he's a property broker in a proper professional outfit. Scrumming for that money is not a proper professional response. Okay, and this is not easy. So please understand, it's not easy to walk away from money, because the piles of money get big and the distance between the monies gets long. So it is very, very hard to do. But if you want to build a long-term business and you want to have peace of mind, you need to look past the commission. You need to forget about that until the deal is properly done and everybody is properly happy. If you do it the other way around and you're shooting for the money, if you keep chasing the money, you will get some and you'll lose some and you'll be frustrated and it'll be hard, and you won't build a long-term business, because people won't come back to you. They can feel it. They'll feel like they're being handled by you. And there's nothing worse than being handled. It's my pet hate. If I feel like I'm being handled, I will burn down that situation. I won't allow it. And I can't believe I'm unique. I don't believe any of you like the feeling where you can just feel, and it's common, eh? You get into something, you think, this oak is handling me now. They're ripping me off. I just don't like it. So that's my suggestions for you. This is not an easy sport that you're taking on. Managing client expectations, and I think you must go back to that first one. If you haven't managed yourself first, you're going to always run into trouble. But if you're confident, if you run your own business, you present yourself as a professional, and you're there to genuinely help, it's going to be very hard for the person to scream at you. And if they do scream at you, you can look at them and go, I'm sorry, you're really having a bad day. Is it because your hair's so shit? And tell them, I'm not working with you, and you walk away. Remember, you can fire clients. Sorry about this. We've been very helpful. We've been very professional. Your attitudes are disgusting, and I actually don't want to work with you. I'm going to report you to the board. I think you should, because then it'll be out in the open how horrible you are. And it'll be in front of a whole committee, and we can tell them what you said to me. Okay. So you don't have to put up with it, and you can fire clients. Okay. Any questions? Lekker. Guys, thank you. Nice to see your smiling faces. Listen, good news. Next week, we are launching our companion app, MyCoza, on the cell phone. It is designed to link our clients to our database clients to the listings, so that you can share and manage listings off your machine. Next step is coming, the ability to list properly. The first step is the sharing of, not the sharing, what do you call it? The matching of clients and buyers and sellers. The next step is going to be it's a listing card, electronic listing form. So you can do half of your listing in your car. When you get back to your office, you can complete it. And the third and fourth step will be some other nice tricks, including the ability to actually publish the listing online. The reason that they don't want to publish it up front now is because not everybody can type these beautiful essays that you write for your things on a cell phone. Spelling mistakes, a lot of problems. Okay, with 1 second left, have a nice day. Go and steal some houses and stop fighting with your clients. Find your inner zen. Or go, hum. Have a nice day.
Okay.
Take it easy.